Is this normal?
I'ma pull up to the club with tequila in my cup. Pour it till I've had enough. Feel the empty in my heart. I'ma pull up to the club with tequila in my cup. Pour it till I've had enough. Feel the empty in my heart. Na 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 na. Yeah yeah. Na 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 na. Yeah yeah. I'ma pull up to the club with tequila in my cup. Pour it till I've had enough. Feel the empty in my heart. I'ma pull up to the club with tequila in my cup. Pour it till I've had enough. Feel the empty in my heart.
Walk on water cause I'm drowning and you made it. Met you on the corner, first in love, it was payday. Candy colored nails, match the candy coated bands. I needed your contact, my eyes bugging out my head. Cause you hot as shit, nah, just she African. Not no bottom, top notch out of here. Love me like I love myself, love it when she smile at me. White teeth with a heart of gold, and I'ma put a diamond in it. Ring, 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 love calling me. Ring like the camera is free. She calling me. Ring, 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 ring. Love calling me. Ain't gon' be a man to pick you up. You stay down for me. Eyes closed, arms out. Flying.
eso no le doy, no.
Shoulder is all you
transition.
Ooh.
Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. Boom, boom. We're good. We're good. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Hold My Pen Promptcast.
Hi,
Our
everyone.
illustrious, our fearless leader is currently dealing with a chaos gremlin, so she will pop up when she's able. But we're gonna get going because we're already 30 minutes in. So that being said, as you know, we are the Hold My Pen Promptcast, where we pick prompts every Saturday night, and you guys have a week to come up with a story in 2,500 words or less. Add to a current work in progress. Keep us on the edge of our seats with that shit. Come on. Hello. Also, we do not have Patrick tonight as he was just at the event, Flirty in Kansas City. Trisha also was there, but she is down in our comments. Hi, Trisha.
Patrick is in the comments too, or he at least
Patrick?
stuck in.
Was he in the comments? I didn't see him.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was watching music videos. Shocker. Shocker. I was watching Stray Kids music videos.
I was about to say, I'll bet you it was Stray Kids.
Yep. Abso-frickin-lutely. Yes, ads in 1 minute. So if you do not have a subscription, which you don't have to, you really don't have to, we do appreciate any help to make sure that our newsletter is paid for, which it is. We're just starting for next year. You get to avoid the ads if you subscribe. So no, they do not have stray cats, although Lino does have 3 cats. Yes, I know this. I know these things because I pay attention.
It's because no comment. Rabbit holes. But
also, I am a stray cat. Feed me, I love you forever, and I stick around.
Okay? Exactly.
So Stray Kids have fed my soul with their music. Therefore, I'm a stray cat, and I'm going to stick around. So they have at least one stray cat. This middle-aged weird woman.
I'm sure they have more than just you as a stray cat.
Oh, absolutely. Stray kids all around the world. It's actually one of their slogans. So bingo bango, and I do not have my little chickadee on my mic stand. It's still attached to my purse. It's fine. It's fine. I am your co-host, Izzy Kraus, designated reader, writer, tech support, but even tech support has to have tech support. So we've got a couple of those in the chat as our moderators. Below me, you have my bestie of nearly 3 decades, Kesh Butler, author of the most epic fantasy I have ever read from. Because it's so God. Oh, I just had an idea. We need to make D&D character sheets for your characters when you're all said and done. Oh my God. Yes.
I've already beaten you there. That's how I'm keeping them straight.
Yes, but I'm talking about their actual stats.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying I'm saying
like
Dragonlance and Forgotten Realms and whatnot.
That would be fun.
That would be super fun. I mean, Dritz de Werden has a character sheet that you can get from their official website now, and he's my favorite character in all of Forgotten Realms. So there we go. That being said, because Julie is otherwise occupied, she normally runs the Wheel of Names. So let me get that set up here real quick. Okay. Aha. Da 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 da. Because I do know what I'm doing. I promise.
Come on.
I do.
It won't. It's not turning my camera back on.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
There we go. All right. So, additionally, I did have a epic COPD attack today after doing a little bit of snow shoveling, and then my oldest fur baby decided that she was going to try to kill me. Oh, and I just realized you're not below me; you're to the side of me.
Oh,
Oh well.
sir, it's built in. It's a new device, so I'm still trying to learn how to use it.
See, mine plugs in because boys and their toys.
Oh, I might get some peripheries for this thing.
Yet I'm the mother of dudes. Boys and their
Yes.
toys is me, but I'm mother of dudes. Don't ask. Don't try to figure out the whole thing. So, that being said, this week's prompt. See, this is why I need Julie, right? I know Julie quite often is like, I want to do something because I feel like Izzy is having to do all of it, right? And you said the same thing. But I'm sitting here going, Julie makes this part look easy. I need her to keep me on track and make sure that the back end stuff is going. I'm fine. I'm fine. Really, I'm fine. There it is. That's why I pulled up Discord. This week's prompt that you all wrote for. Yes, from the attic window. The world looked entirely different. So, here we go. Now, unfortunately, because of how I have my shit set up, you're not going to hear the wheel tick, 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 tick. And you're not going to see or hear the applause. But here we go. I hear it because it's on my computer plugged through my headphones. But then, Ooh! We are starting off. Wait, it wasn't going through my headphones. I'm okay.
Who are we starting off with?
We are starting off with one PA Power. Now, one additional reminder, if you're watching this on the rebroadcast or you are in our comments tonight and new to us, or you're, just scrubbing videos, assholes. Our voices and our stories are not to be used to train IAI. Also, please do not plagiarize these because although these are not published works, they do belong to the authors and write your own damn shit. All right. There is creativity in just about anything that you can do. It's all in how you build the story, and you can do it. I believe in you. That's the point of this show, is to empower you to write your story. Write the story that you want to read, and I'm sure there will be other chaos gremlins who absolutely adore your story. All right, PA Power. Zura paced the length of the sitting room for the third time, skirts swishing sharply with each turn. He hasn't called, she said again, folding and unfolding her hands. Not once since market day. Her mother glanced up from her mending, needle pausing mid-stitch. Garon is a busy young man. He always has time, Zura snapped, then caught herself and smoothed her voice. He did, before. Her mother sighed softly, the sound of long habit rather than concern. Men wander when they feel slighted. I didn't slight him, Zura said quickly. I only asked why he was so interested in Kiara's comings and goings. Any man would notice that. Her mother said nothing this time. The needle resumed its steady pull through cloth. Zura turned away, jaw tight. It was always like this. Questions dismissed, feelings minimized, as if attention were something she should be grateful for rather than expect. Then, footsteps. Not the soft tread of servants. These carried weight, authority. Heavy boots struck the polished wooden floor in the entry hall, each step confident, unhurried. The sound carried through the house like a summons. Zura froze. The air shifted with it, bringing scent in its wake. Apples, sharp and clean. Musk, tobacco smoke clinging faintly to wool. Her breath caught. "That's him," she said, already moving. Her mother barely had time to look up before Zura was gone, skirts gathered in one hand as she hurried toward the hall, heart quickening with relief and triumph. He had come after all. She rounded the corner just in time to hear Garen's voice, animated, breathless with excitement rather than apology. "I swear it, sir. Trees bending like they knew him. A madman living out there, laying claim to her like she was land itself. I barely escaped with my life." Zura slowed. Her smile faltered. She stood just beyond the doorway, unseen, fingers curled tight in the fabric of her sleeve as Garen spoke. Not to her, not for her, but past her entirely. Addressing her father with the fervor of a man eager to be believed. Her father muttered something low in response, reassuring, dismissive. Heat rose behind Zura's eyes. Not fear, not concern. This was humiliation. Even now, it was Kiara. Kiara at the market. Kiara in danger. Kiara in stories. Kiara at the center of something whispered and strange, while Zura remained in the margins like an afterthought. The anger rolled through her the longer she allowed herself to think it. She turned away before she could be seen and crossed the hall with forced calm. In the back corridor where old stone cooled the air, she stopped one of the household servants, a maid with graying hair and a posture bent from years of careful obedience. "Do we have records?" Zura asked. "About the Forbidden Woods?" The maid blinked. "Records, miss?" "Old ones," Zura pressed. "Before the boundary stones. Before the rules." The maid hesitated, glancing down the hall as if the walls themselves might overhear. "They don't usually keep records that long." The words settled heavier than Zura expected. Not lost, not misplaced, not kept. She thanked the maid stiffly and climbed the narrow stairs to the attic, each step creaking beneath her feet like a warning she chose to ignore. The attic smelled of dust and forgotten winters. Kiara's things were stored there, neatly at first, a basket, a shawl, old journals tied with twine, proof that her sister had once existed within these walls and somehow still managed to eclipse them. Zura grabbed the nearest box and overturned it. Apples spilled across the floor. Dried, shriveled, useless now. A pressed flower snapped beneath her heel. She tore through folded cloth, scattering it like leaves after a storm. "Always you," she muttered. "Always chosen." From the attic window, the world looked entirely different. Village roofs sloped away from the house, small and unremarkable. Fields stretched outward, indifferent. The road curved on without waiting for anyone. The world did not revolve around her. It never had. Zura pressed her palm to the glass, breath fogging the pain. If the woods had claimed her sister, then let them keep her. What mattered now was reclaiming what had always been denied. If Zura did not act, she would remain forever in Kiara's shadow, forgotten, secondary, small. Her breath came sharp through her nose. "Always you," she said again, louder now. Always more. She seized a stack of journals and flung them against the far wall. Pages burst free, scattering like startled birds. Ink bled where bindings split, words torn from one another mid-thought. She did not read them. She did not need to. Kiara's hand was everywhere, careful, deliberate, full of things worth keeping. Zura grabbed the shawl next, the one their mother had woven years ago, and ripped it clean down the center. The sound, final and tearing, sent a thrill through her chest. She stomped it underfoot, grinding the wool into the dust like it had never warmed anyone at all. A small wooden charm followed, then another. She swept an entire shelf clear with her arm. The crash echoed through the attic, sharp and unforgiving. Look at you, Zura hissed, pacing among the wreckage. Running off into stories, being claimed by madness and trees, and still, you are the one they talk about. She kicked the overturned basket. Dried apples rolled free, dull and lifeless as stones. Even now, she said, even gone. Her hand shook, not with grief, but fury that could no longer remain contained. Enough. She spun on her heel and yanked the attic door open. Bring fire, she called down the stairwell, voice sharp as a snapped branch. All of it, now. Servants appeared quickly, eyes down, movements practiced. They gathered the ruined remains without question, bundling journals, cloth, and splintered keepsakes into sacks meant for refuse. Zura watched from the landing as they carried Kiara's remnants away. Burn it, she said flatly. Do not leave ash where it can be recognized. One servant hesitated, only a breath. Zura's gaze snapped to her. Burn it. They did. Smoke curled into the gray sky behind the house minutes later, thin and acrid. Zura stood at the window and watched until the last ember dimmed. Only then did she move. She returned to her room and dressed quickly. Not finely, not fashionably. Dark wool, a plain cloak, boots meant for distance rather than display. She bound her hair tight and smeared a trace of ash along her cheekbone, dulling the brightness of her skin. If anyone saw her now, she would be mistaken for anyone else. She slipped down the servant stairs and out through the side door, timing her steps between chores and calls, letting the house believe she remained exactly where she had always been. Inside, contained. The road beyond the gate was cool beneath her boots. The village stretched ahead, familiar paths, familiar faces, all of them ignorant of the truth that had slipped between records and roots. Kiara was hiding. Zura would find where. She lifted her hood, lowered her gaze, and stepped forward, following whispers, watching for signs, already certain of one thing. If the woods had taken her sister, then Zura would follow. Not to be left behind, never again. Zura did not slow as she passed through the village. She kept her head down, pace sharp, cutting through familiar streets without greeting anyone who might recognize her. Her thoughts raced ahead of her steps, already narrowing toward a single solution. If the woods would not give answers, then she would take them. The old crown sat at the edge of the village where stone gave way to rot, its roof sagging beneath years of neglect. Once it had been an inn. Now it leaned into itself, windows clouded, door warped and swollen from damp. No sign marked it, but everyone knew who lived there. The witch did not invite visitors. She tolerated them. Zura knocked once and pushed inside without waiting. The air was thick, herbs drying from rafters, smoke clinging low, something bitter and metallic beneath it all. Candles burned unevenly, their wax pooled and hardened like old scars. The woman behind the table did not look up. You're early, the witch said. Her voice was thin, scraped raw by age. And you're in a hurry. Zura stepped forward, pulse hammering. I need a spell. That earned her a glance. slow, assessing, eyes sharp as thorns. For what purpose? To find someone, Zura said quickly. Someone hiding. The witch's gaze lingered a moment too long. Then she extended a hand, palm up. Payment first. Zura hesitated only a breath before reaching into her pocket. She withdrew a single gold coin, warm from her skin, and placed it in the witch's waiting palm. The woman weighed it once, nodded, and curled her fingers closed. What tie do you bring? The witch asked. Blood, bone, belonging. Zura's throat tightened. She reached into the inner pocket of her cloak and drew out Kiara's hairbrush. Wooden, plain, familiar. The dark strands were caught in its bristles, long, fine, unmistakable. The witch's expression changed then, not softened, but sharpened. Sister, she said, not a question. Zura did not correct her. I want her found, Zura said. I want to know where she's hiding. The witch took the brush, turning it slowly in her hands, thumb brushing the hair with something like reverence or hunger. This will work, she said, but not cleanly. I don't care, Zura snapped. Do it. The witch set the brush down beside a shallow bowl etched with symbols worn thin from use. You will leave, she said, now. Zura stiffened. I want to watch. You don't, the witch replied flatly, and you've paid only to begin, not to witness. Zura's hands curled into fists at her sides. For a moment, it looked as though she might argue. Then urgency won. She turned and moved toward the door, pausing only long enough to glance back. I want answers, she said. The witch did not look up. She had already begun separating the strands of hair, laying them carefully into the bowl. Be careful what you do with them, the witch said. They won't belong only to you once found. Zura left without responding. The door closed behind her with a hollow thud. Inside, the witch added water, then ash, then a whisper, not a name, but a calling. The hair stirred, and far from the village, something in the woods shifted. Dun dun dun. God damn it, I kind of feel bad for Zura.
Yeah.
I've been the sister who was always second fiddle to the other child.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, she handles it very, very poorly. You know, attacking Kiara and setting her up for failure and all that shit. I did not do that to my sibling. I took my job protecting him very, very seriously. But yeah, now I kind of feel bad for Zura. I'm glad she's not a traditional mean girl. Yes, Spitzer. I'm fully aware. She did not she did not handle the rejection and the it, you know, the being forgotten and being ignored, and she did not handle
No, she
that
didn't
well.
handle that well at all.
No. Now, I didn't handle it well either. It was a lot of trauma inducing, but I didn't take it out on the golden child. Right? It's not their fault that they're the favorite.
Eh, I would say that's a matter of opinion, but you are right. It's not their fault that the parent in question is an ass.
Right.
The
Now,
parent in question.
if the golden child does wind up using it to their advantage and getting the other child in trouble constantly, that's not good either. Thankfully, my brother did not do that. He didn't go out of his way to get me in trouble. In fact, he often would say, "You know you're going to get in trouble. You really shouldn't do that kind of thing." Like, yeah. Anyway, we're not going to talk about my little brother. All right. So, 1 down, 6 to go.
Right on, right on.
You ready to spin? We're not going to talk about my little brother.
Shit, hold on. I gotta mute something and I gotta figure out where it's muted. Okay. Oh, YouTube. Okay. Now I can turn the sound back on. I didn't realize I wasn't muted on there. Okay. Turn this all the way up. All right. Spinny fin. Documancer.
Yay!
Should be good.
Doc, you lovely human being, you. Now, we weren't going to do more summaries. I just was kind of doing the summaries to help remind people so that they can, which number goes with which story for January Fresh Ink. Doc has put in a synopsis, just a quick little blurb that if we were to do that in the future, you sweet, beautiful human being. All right. Here we go.
By the way, is there a reason we didn't switch out the fresh ink?
Because the picture is on this computer and not over there. My bad.
Oh, okay. You're fine. I was just like, did we miss something? Did something glitch? I know that's just me.
There, we'll just hide it. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, pardon me. Oh, pardon me. Blackberry. From the clock tower's window, the world looked entirely different. When you're jammed in the hustle of the streets, the bustle from children, the foulness escaping the horses, the streets can gobble you whole. When you're given a bird's eye view, you can actually breathe. At least, that's what it felt like for Ian. What a breath of fresh air. Too bad it wouldn't last for the rest of the evening. He yawned, fully and without apology. While the atmosphere was welcomed, the hour was not. It was past curfew and they were still in their nightwear, with the exception of coats. He had to carry a hooded lantern to see where they were going, and it was a challenge to conceal it from night watchers. "Why did you drag me out of bed for this?" Calloway asked. "To keep watch, obviously," Greystone hissed. "You are such a child. Will you quit calling me that?" Boxes were stacked against the wall, and she had made him grab specific ones. She set down her lantern next to the first box. Then she pulled the box close to herself, cracked it open, and searched for something. "You could not drag your sweet young Thatcher instead?" Greystone paused in the middle of a rummage, scooped her lantern, and shone it in Ian's face. The floorboards squeaked and hawed to her movements until they were boot to boot. You promised. You said I could not speak to anyone else. Last I checked, you are not anyone else. I can fucking picture that. Love it. Her nose scrunched with fury, but she looked about as threatening as a rabbit about to thump for more kale. Not a Freudian slip. No, not at all. Yes, well, very good. Stop patronizing me and be useful, she commanded. Her eyes widened. Did you really just touch my forehead? I could be more useful if you told me what you were looking for, he drawled, ignoring her question. His fingertip was still warm from her skin, which was odd. They were both just out in the cold together. How had she warmed up so quickly? What did she say? One more time? He asked. Honestly, she scoffed. Pay attention when you ask me a question. Beg you my pardon, miss, he said smoothly. The clock keeper had some files up here on the house that fell. What's so significant about a house? He asked, as blasé as he could muster. And why are there files in the clock tower? 'Twas not the house that's important, but who owned it, she explained. She ushered him with a hand and they approached the boxes. The records office does not usually keep records that long. How will I know what I'm looking for? He tilted his head. And why was Sam at such a residence? Greystone shook her head and ripped open another box. They wasted no time thumbing through the innards. You ask so many questions, Greystone sighed. Have you never let adventure take you by the hand? Not if I do not know what I'm getting into. Even if a mystery were to stare you in the face, surely you would ask it to show you their papers, she quipped. He shrugged, though she was focused on dusty files. He coughed as little clouds went airborne in the search. It is what my father would have done. And he is dead. She paused as the words came out. Her brown eyes jerked to his greens, which deflected to a shadow in the darkness. He gripped the box corners. She sighed. That came out. Forgive me. The clock ticked a few seconds before Ian cleared his throat. Forgotten. Now, files from the lower tier? Yes, we're looking for Eugenia Spencer. His brows furrowed as thoughts raced behind them. Who was this woman? Spencer is on the board. She was Spencer's mother. Why are you looking for Spencer's files in the tower and not his home? She chuckled. Me? A lesser tier in the Spencer house? She asked bitterly. Ian frowned as the sound of billiard balls clanked in his mind. Right. Foolish of me. Why do you need that information? Greystone looked up to him with a smile he didn't like. It was too vixen, too impish, too Eleanor. Make a pact with me, Mr. Calloway. Maybe I'll tell you what haunts our town. Doc, I beg your finest fucking pardon. That's it. That's it. I beg your finest fucking pardon. Ooh.
So
So,
what
so we're supposed to
records
find
are they
out
going
what
after?
happened to the files, or what files they were looking for, or nothing? Like, what the
Doc,
I want to know
stop.
more.
Look, Doc's got me by the short and curlies. All right, I want to know. I want this whole motherfucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want it in my hand. You're fine. You're forgiven. Just don't stop. Just don't stop until this entire book is done. We can get you edited, can get you a book cover, the whole 9 yards, and get this published and get it in my grubby little hands. Mm. Oh, love, 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 love.
Okay.
All right, next.
Nathan Stark.
Nathan's been giving me palpitations all year. Oh, this is great. This is great. Let me all just let me tell y'all the title of this week's little short story, grab you by the heart and squeeze. The Attic of Receipts. I'm already okay, seriously. Please hold. 7 minutes ago, my beats per minute was 96. Please note, I have not gotten up out of this chair in at least 10. Ooh, it's a little bit down. Oh, no. We're just going up,
For a
going
moment.
up, going up.
Yep.
That makes me curious. Of course, mine isn't telling me what mine is.
Da, 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 da,
93 beats per minute.
There we go. Mm-hmm.
Anxiety meds are cool. They keep you down.
Yeah, I'm hovering around 94 to 98.
Is that considered a high heart rate or a low?
I'm always told that mine is too high. For a resting rate that where I'm normally anywhere from 90 to 95 resting rate, I'm supposed to be closer to 75, 80. And I'm like, I'm sorry, do you have ADHD? And they're like, oh, well, that's just a
Yeah.
mental whatever. I go, what does the H stand for? Oh, well, they just call everybody with ADD ADHD. No, I'm ADHD. Okay. Okay, here we go. The Attic of Receipts. From the attic window, the world looked entirely different. Not smaller, edited, like someone had taken a careful eraser to the edges. The road bent too neatly. The houses sat in their rows like props returned to storage after a play no one admitted they'd seen. Even the old oak at the corner looked wrong from up here, its shadow shorter, less accusatory. Caleb Mercer pressed his forehead against the cool glass and watched a pickup crawl down the street below, tires whispering over asphalt. It felt safer up here, detached above the lies, if lies had altitude. The attic smelled like dust and old cardboard and secrets that had been sealed with tape instead of truth. The kind of place where things went when people decided they didn't matter anymore. Below him, the house breathed. Pipe clicked, floorboards sighed, and then voices. Caleb didn't mean to listen. He never did. It just happened. Sound traveled strangely through the house, especially through the vents that cut straight up the walls like arteries. I'm telling you, it's not there, a man said, calm, professional, the kind of voice that wore button down shirts even on weekends. Oh, like my youngest spawn. Okay. Another voice followed, lower, familiar, his mother's. They don't usually keep records that long. Caleb stilled. The words weren't loud. They didn't need to be. They landed wrong, like a step that missed the stair. The man laughed softly. You'd be surprised what survives when someone wants it to. Caleb leaned back against a stack of boxes, heart doing something unpleasant in his chest. He stared at the rafters, at the nail heads rusted into stars. Downstairs, his mother didn't answer right away. When she did, her voice had shifted. Just a fraction. Tightened. Well, she said, it's a good thing no one's looking. Silence. Then footsteps. 2 sets. One had a door opened, closed. Caleb stayed where he was long after the sounds faded, counting his breaths like they might betray him if he didn't. Records, he thought. How long? Dinner tasted like board. His mother, Elaine Mercer, sat across from him at the table, posture perfect, fork moving with methodical precision. She wore the same neutral smile, the one that suggested everything in the world was exactly. Did you finish your history project? She asked. Caleb chewed. She nodded, satisfied, like that answer fit into a slot she'd already carved for it. The house was too quiet. No TV, no radio. The clock above the sink ticked loudly, counting something neither of them acknowledged. After dinner, Elaine cleared the plates herself, though Caleb stood to help. I've got it, she said quickly. Too quickly. He sat back down. Later, he heard the fireplace. That was strange. It wasn't cold. The thermostat blinked a steady 72, like it was proud of itself. Caleb lingered in the hallway, barefoot on the cool hardwood, watching from the shadows as his mother knelt in front of the hearth. Papers lay stacked beside her, thick, yellowed, edges curled like dried leaves. She fed them to the flames, one by one. Not hurried, not frantic, careful. Her hands trembled anyway. Caleb watched the fire eat ink, watched dates curl into black, names collapse into ash. A seal embossed official held its shape for a second longer than the rest before warping inward. Elaine pressed her lips together, eyes shining not with tears, but with something harder, determination. Fear's more disciplined cousin. A log shifted. Sparks leapt. Caleb backed away before she could turn. He didn't sleep. The attic ladder creaked as he climbed it near dawn, moving slowly, like the house might object if he rushed. Dust motes floated in the early light, suspended, patient. He searched with no real plan, just instinct, fingers brushing over boxes labeled in his mother's neat handwriting. Taxes. Christmas. Important. That one caught his attention. Inside were folders, thin and thick, some empty, some stubbornly full. Receipts, deeds, things that proved things. At the bottom sat a photograph in a cracked frame. Caleb lifted it. A house stared back at him. It was small, white, front porch sagging slightly to the left. A mailbox out front bore a number Caleb knew without knowing why. The address hit him like a bruise you didn't notice until you pressed it. The house wasn't there anymore, but it had been. He remembered riding past it as a kid, asking his mom why the lot was empty. She'd said, "Some places don't deserve to stay." Caleb turned the frame over. A date was scrawled on the back. 23 years ago. He was 19. His mother's footsteps sounded on the stairs below. "Caleb?" He didn't answer. The attic door creaked open. Elaine stopped short when she saw him holding the photo. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then she exhaled, slow, measured. "You shouldn't be up here," she said. Caleb held the frame. "Funny, that's exactly what I was thinking about the house." Her jaw set. "Put it down." "No." The word came out sharper than he expected. It surprised both of them. Elaine stepped forward. For the first time, how tired she looked. How old. Place doesn't look like it was evidence. "What happened there, Mom?" Silence. Then, "I protected you." The words landed heavy but hollow. "From what?" he asked. Elaine looked past him out the attic window. From up here, the world looked edited. "I locked the door," she said quietly. Caleb's stomach dropped. "The night it happened," she continued, "I locked the door because I was tired, because I thought I'd fix it in the morning." Her hands clenched at her sides. "There was a gas smell," she said. "I told myself it was nothing." Caleb shook his head. "Stop." "I didn't mean to," she said fiercely, finally looking at him. "Do you know how many times I've replayed that night? How many ways I've tried to make it different?" Pounded so loudly it drowned the ticking clock downstairs. "Who," he whispered, "was in the house?" Elaine swallowed. "A family," she said. "3 people. Records said they moved. Town agreed." It felt smaller, lower. "You erased them," Caleb said. "I survived," she snapped, then softer. "So did you." He stared at her. Finally, he understood. Why she watched too closely. Why she controlled every detail. Why she burned paper like it could bury. Caleb set the photo down gently. Caleb slid the folder into the box. Elaine watched him do it. She didn't reach for it. Didn't stop him. Just stood there. Hands trembling at her sides like they belonged to someone else. "That's not going to fix anything," she said quietly. Caleb closed the box. "No," he agreed. "But it changed." Her mouth opened, closed again. For a moment it looked like she might cry. Then she straightened, smoothing invisible wrinkles from her sleeves the way she always did when things slipped out of control. "You don't understand what would happen if this came back," she said. "People don't want to know. They didn't then and they don't now." Caleb glanced out the attic window. From up here, the world looked peaceful. Lawns trimmed, driveways clean, no scars where the house used to be, just grass growing obediently over a place that had screamed once. "They didn't want to know," he said. "You didn't want to remember." Elaine's voice hardened. "I did what I had to." He nodded slowly. "That's what everyone says." She stepped closer, lowering her voice. "You think you're different?" Caleb picked up the photo again, turned it face down. "I think," he said, "that if I don't do something, I become you." she said. It wasn't a threat. It was a plea. Caleb met her eyes. I already did. Passed her on the ladder without another word. She didn't follow. That night, Elaine locked the attic door. She stood there for a long time afterward, key heavy in her hand, listening to the house settle around her. 2 days later, a man in a county-issued jacket knocked on the front door. Elaine answered with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. From his bedroom, Caleb listened as papers were shuffled, as careful questions were asked. They don't usually keep records that long, the man said lightly. Elaine laughed too fast. From the attic above them, a box sat untouched. Inside it, a copy waited. From the attic, the world still looked entirely different. But now, someone was looking back. Sir. Your finest, damn pardon, Mr. Stark. Have more questions than I have answers.
Hello.
Hello. What happened?
Probably the same thing as the last time.
I swear to all that is holy and everything that is unholy. I need a Nathan Stark anthology on my shelf. Listen here, child. Is it just me, or am I the only one who's noticed that the last name of Mercer seems to keep getting used? I'm almost wondering, are these all people in the same family, same town? Like, it'd be cool if they were little snippets of this one extended family. That would be, just saying. Who's next?
I honestly don't know, but I will be having a conversation with them going, what the fuck?
Oh, he watches the replay. He can message me and tell me exactly what.
Trisha!
Woohoo! I went up to the attic to find something. To be honest, I don't even remember what I went to find. I sighed. Now, why did I come up here? Well, I stood there trying to remember. I looked out the attic window, and everything outside looked different. It reminded me of how it looked when my kids were small, the world before so many houses were built in this area. I sat down by the window and noticed a box of photo albums I brought up here so long ago. I picked one up and looked at the pictures of my wedding with my loving husband. We were so young, I said out loud to myself. I sighed and put that photo album aside and picked up one of the photo albums I made for the kids. They were so tiny. I thought, tracing my daughter's face in the picture of her with chocolate cake. Not long after, my husband came up to find me. I looked up as he poked his head up. I must have been up here for a while. Everything okay? He asked as he walked over. Yes, I was just walking down memory lane, I said, patting the photo album in my lap. He sat next to me. They were so tiny. Yes, they were, I said, smiling. We spent the afternoon looking at the pictures and talking about the memories they brought up. We were brought out of our memories when we heard our kids calling out they were home. I guess we better head back downstairs, I said. I need to get dinner started. Okay, let's see how their days were, my hubby said, taking my hands. We went down the attic ladder. Once we were down, hubby closed it up. We headed through the dining room to the kitchen where we found our two kids sitting, doing their homework. I'm not going to lie, after what Trisha put us through in January, I was kind of expecting there to be some kind of serial killer trophy in one of the photo albums. I'm just saying. Just saying, my dear.
Was that another short and sweet from Trisha?
Short, sweet, to the point, giving us a slice of life, and now I'm wondering, how old are the kids? How long has it been since they were so tiny? I mean, they're still doing homework, so but middle school, high school.
Oh, Luna, get used to it. This is a Trisha thing.
Yes. Gives us just enough of a taste where it's like, okay, where's the other shoe going to drop? Because even make sure I grab the right copy because I have a limited edition. So the way Anne and I know why. There we go. So, even in this series, Anne and Joe are so sweet together and amazing and loving and sweet and kind. But then there's fucking Aunt Betsy.
Aunt Betsy.
Aunt fucking Betsy. It's not all sugar, hearts, and rainbows.
The Trisha thing we had
Trisha also gives us a can of. I don't know what to tell you. Dun, 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 dun. I don't see anything else pop up. Yeah, Aunt Betsy.
Nobody likes Aunt Betsy, but we're not supposed to like Aunt Betsy. So I mean,
True. Oh, does that count as a mic turn off?
No.
No.
I can read your lips. Something is down.
Is there an echo now?
Oh, is there an echo with me?
now? Is there an echo now?
There's still an echo with Izzy speaking. Or without Izzy speaking. Okay, do me a favor. Cash, turn your mic off for a minute. Okay, is there an echo now? I'll echo. We can't help you.
Test, test, test. Is there an echo with Izzy at this current moment? Oh, no. No, Doc. No, we do not. We do not ask Aunt Betsy if she can hear us. No. Found it.
Got it? We're working on it, Ace.
Test, test, test.
1, 2, 3,
When I was
4,
trying to
hide the players
scroll
on the floor.
down, when I was trying to scroll down, it selected the other option for sound.
I did not snort.
They might be hearing my
Blow it out
congestion
your
that I've
ass.
got. Was it that sound? Because I'm congested.
Okay, great. She's constantly clearing her throat, sniffing, just making all sorts of bodily noises. Okay. Now the good news is that it's all from the neck up, and it's not any lower. Okay.
It's all my asthma.
C.M. Weller.
Ooh.
Woohoo! And there it goes. Yep. Okay.
Is it saying anything on the back end when it's doing this, or?
Yeah, we had stream death for 1 second. Turn that off. Okay, there we go. Well, yeah, everybody's information is on the dark web, but it's not checking for mine. It's checking for somebody else's. Okay. Incoming ad break. Okay, real quick. We've got Sam Weller and 2 more yet tonight. Let's real quick take a 10-minute break, just simply because we're going to have an ad in approximately 5 minutes, and it's about 2.5-minute ads. So let's just go ahead and do that. I know most of our audience is subscribers, but for those where it has lapsed and somebody hasn't been able to gift you one, we'll be good there. I don't know. Can somebody check the people link? Oh, pardon me. I know I'm so sexy with my belching.
I think everybody in here has the thing, but we're good.
Yeah, definitely not malicious. Fuck! Swear to God, I just attract the most unhinged people into my sphere, and we're all unhinged together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least we can all be located, usually with cookies, but we can all be located.
Stray cat.
That's what I said, usually with cookies.
Okay, hold on. We're trying to connect. Different connection methods to find one that works for you. Okay. Yep, OBS keeps disconnecting from Twitch.
Do you have the VPN on?
I did until just now. Oh, God bless America. Okay. Okay, be right back.
I'm going to go check on my family. I will be back as well.
I'll wait till at least one of y'all come back before I go check on Aries. That way, somebody's on screen and nobody thinks that we're just like sitting here.
Yeah.
I know sticks, and if it comes down to that, it comes down to that. But right now, we're just here. Okay, go night night. See you tomorrow. So, how's everybody else doing tonight? Good, sir. I expect nothing else. Again, I repeat the same statement. Yep. I did what I said I wasn't gonna do tonight, and when we get to tomorrow, you'll understand. God, it got quiet in here. Gotcha. My other half knows better than to touch the Red Bull. Um, I don't touch his monsters. He doesn't touch my Red Bull. We're very, very strategic that way. I think also because I keep a bat next to my desk, even though it's plastic. Even though it's plastic, um, I have no problem with popping him in the head with it.
Plastic can hurt just as bad.
All depends on how hard I swing it.
Oh,
That's the beauty of it. All depends on how hard I swing it.
there we go. All right.
Okay, you're back. I'm gonna go check my little, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll get my camera on here in just a second. There we go. Trying to learn my new device. Do. What? Is he? I'm confused. Oh, do. Are we echoing? Cause I am. Am I echoing again? No echo. Okay. Just wanted to check because I'm trying.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh gosh. I don't know about y'all, but this week has kicked my ever loving fucking ass. Called off from work, had to work from home 2.5 days this week. Think I was in the office once, if my math's right, maybe twice.
I
Nuts.
feel that. It's been rough. And then on top of that, Mom says she's going to work tomorrow. She's been in bed for 3 days. I'm not sure how that's going to work.
Do 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 do. I don't know why I didn't think of that one.
Isn't that hamster dance?
Video unavailable.
What video
No,
is unavailable?
no. Doc put in the general chat the Robin Hood, Disney Robin Hood, where the little rooster is singing.
Oh,
Do, do,
man, that's
do,
like,
do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Now I wanna watch Robin Hood. Thank you.
yeah, that's throwback. Oh, I just heard an echo.
Yes, it did get, uh, appropriated for hamster dance. I mean, a lot of us grew up on Tom and Jerry, so
I still see nothing wrong with those cartoons. It might just be the
no,
fact that I'm like,
I
it's a fucking cartoon. Leave it alone.
yeah. I mean, by and large, my favorite Disney, cartoon movie from childhood was Aristocats. Go figure. Okay. But my second favorite was always Robin Hood. I always loved Robin and Marian.
Mm-hmm.
All
There's
right.
actually a
So
place
here we
here.
go.
What?
Do what? Go
There's
ahead.
actually a place in Tennessee, actually right around the corner from where I live, that the upscale neighborhood is called Sherwood Forest, and all the fucking streets are named after Robin Hood characters. So
We have one not too far from here too.
I mean, yeah. I don't remember. It's not Sherwood Forest. I think it's Sherwood Woods or Sherwood's. I don't remember what it's called, but
It's Sherwood something,
every time,
but everything's named after Robin
yeah.
Hood.
Sherwood Oaks is in Bloomington, but we do have one locally here. Okay.
It's you.
Bitzer. Bitzer. All right, here we go. From the attic window, the world looked entirely different, lonelier for a start. Despite being in the middle of Cairncliff, she felt further apart from everything. The fire was meant to make things better, burn up all the things that were bad in order to leave room for the good. Zinnia just wanted to burn up Aaron's anger, not all of him. Especially not all of the things that had come to her to help with the baby. She'd never expected to be a pregnant widow in the mayor's attic with little to her name. She had a job, being maid to the mayor and his household, for moderate pay, as well as room and board. She had regular meals in the kitchens with the rest of the mayor's staff. She had Void, who could not climb the stairs to the attic because it was both too big and too heavy. She had the horse, currently in the stables, and nowhere to take him. The worst part, of all the worst parts, was that she could see the charcoal ruin of the home she once shared with her Aaron. Its blackened bones stood out starkly against the last hints of the winter snows. The lonely road to that distant farm had been buried under a landslide again. The cliff that had given the town its name had surrendered once more to its own weight and the influence of the weather. Her son kicked inside her, all she had left of her Aaron. He would have a packing crate to sleep in, cushioned by her knitting and clothed in flour sacks. Her son would never know his father. He might never know a home. Widows didn't fare very well in Cairncliff. The rules of the land said they couldn't own property. They couldn't run farms on their own. They couldn't have a business. She was lucky to merely have a job, and that might not last very long because her son was going to be born before snowmelt. Zinnia had no idea how she was going to maintain her duties with a birth to recover from or a baby to care for. Petunia found her staring out the window. You're spending your day off staring at snow and feeling sorry for yourself? No. Come on, downstairs and out in the open air. You're not doing your baby any good by sitting around in a stuffy old attic and moping. Petunia helped Zinnia up and bullied her into a cloak and winter boots, replete with winter mittens. She also helped Zinnia down the narrow stairs and through the equally narrow servant's door. Zinnia and her belly were getting big this close to spring. Void was waiting outside the house, standing in the alley like a statue, until Zinnia appeared. It came to life, turning towards her and offering its elbow, almost like a gentleman. It always made her feel safe, no matter what. People didn't stop her to feel her big belly and crow about how little time she had left. People didn't ask her her plans, not with Void around. People didn't tut and sneer or let her hear rumors or gossip about herself. People didn't let her hear all the nasty theories they had about her Aaron's death. It didn't matter that she'd been at the pyre since before it was lit, nor did it matter that she insisted that she'd left the door ajar for him before she left. It mattered that Aaron's body was found by the stump of the door, and all the other belongings in the house were piled up near the empty shell of the hearth. Nothing Zinnia told them could do a thing against their sharp words, so she stopped protesting and clung to Void. Petunia did what she could to dispel the rumors. She had also seen how Zinnia had laid the house out the day before. But that, insisted the gossips, was an entire day between that and bonfire night. They didn't accept Void's word at all, reasoning that Void would tell whatever truth Zinnia wished it to tell. Void had never uttered a word of a lie to anyone, even though it did say strange things from time to time. It even mentioned the face Zinnia made to burn, which also did nothing to stop the gossip. Petunia guarded Zinnia's other side from the glares and judgment of the town. Don't you mind them, she said. They'll find something else to talk about soon enough. The kids are already asking the kinds of questions that interrupt their fantasies. Already, like it couldn't have happened sooner. Zinnia wished she'd asked those questions herself, but the shock of her home's devastation had stoppered her throat. Months had passed by in a series of blinks. Blink, the smoldering ruin of her house. Blink, the endless depths of the grave. Petunia and Void holding her back from leaping inside. Blink. The empty attic room with a cot by the chimney and a window to see Cliff through. Blink. People kindly and gently walking her through her duties. Blink. People kindly and gently making her eat, helping her wash. It was terrible. Why would anyone think that she wanted it to happen? She must have said that out loud because Petunia said, they think that just because you didn't cry, you weren't in mourning. Some folks just don't know how to look with their own eyes. Zinnia wanted to walk home, but there wasn't a home anymore. Her eyes still found the road that would take her there. I don't know what I'll do, she said. 2 more months, and her son would come into the world. All she could see of her future was being alone with a newborn on the streets, begging enough to survive. You are a lore keeper, said Void. Your knowledge contains treasures. Zinnia scoffed. Like the dragon treasure in the cliff? That's just a story. You're the only treasure that came out of that soil. No harm in looking, said Petunia. Void can do the heavy lifting, and you and I can sift through the rest. The road needs clearing in case someone else wanted that land. Zinnia doubted anyone would. It was officially cursed, according to the gossips. Not only had it been a poor farm when Aaron was there, but it was also land that was witness to a horrible death. It was land that had rejected generosity, burned it. Might as well do what work we can, allowed Zinnia. I'm told I need exercise. It was something to do, something to keep her sane, something other than the routine of her job, something that was hers, something she could share with her friend. She doubted she'd find gold or gemstones or anything interesting at all. Lore Keeper. What a fancy title for someone who knew and told a lot of stories. For the first time since she saw the smoke coming from her house, Zinnia started telling one as she and Petunia began sifting through the muck. In the old days, there was a mighty kingdom where the king just refused to die, she said. She put his soul into a heart of stone in a body of brass. He'd been a generous king when he was alive, but when he didn't fear death no more, he stopped wondering where his soul would go. He knew where it went, and it was in a body that would never get weak, never need food or water, but he still had greed. He turned mean. Of course, the people didn't like that. They wanted their good king to live forever as a good king. This big stone was bigger than she thought. Zinnia cleaned it off with her hands. It had pictures on one side, part of a story. A king demanding the people kneel before him. A frown on the king's face. Tears on the people's. There was a staff that shone with power. Void had got that look it got when it was remembering its life before its grave, or existence. The king in the picture had no beard, just like Void didn't have a beard. This, too, had come out of the cliff. Is this you? She asked. I think, said Void, it was, once. There's entirely too much blank space on this page, and it's the last page, and that is unacceptable. That
Wait, what?
um blank 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 section of page, and no more pages, and um um out of the pan into the fire. Yeah, just a lore drop. Sorry, not sorry.
That's one hell of a lore drop. Did what? Okay, just to make sure I heard that correctly, was that implying what I think I implied?
Void was a king that would not die because his soul was put into an undying body, automaton, and then he got hit down in a landslide, and Zinnia found him all those months ago when we heard that bit, and now he woke up with no memory, and Zinnia found him and turned him on, and he had been an evil king. What? But he's so nice, so sweet, and what?
Okay, what happened there? How do you get
I
from
know.
point A?
I guess we're just gonna have to wait. Oh, without a memory core. Okay. Yeah, I do remember that. Okay. Well,
Oh,
damn.
that's right.
Just a little teeny tiny lore drop.
Annie Bahoozles.
And I don't like that Zinnia got out of the frying pan and is now feet to the fire. Poor girl.
Feet to the fire because Aaron was trying to be an ass and ended up freaking unaliving himself.
Yeah.
That is the perfect one. Really wasn't. He killed himself. He literally unalived himself. He did this to himself.
Yep.
To be an asshole. Next up.
So who's that?
Wilhelm.
Wilhelm. Okay. Which amazingly gripping story do we have now? Okay. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. This is sweet. Death's Head puts in brackets all the answers to our questions. Now, those questions did get a little adjusted and changed. But trigger warnings, pen name, whether or not wants to be in the rebroadcast, we're no longer asking that question just simply because that requires spoons to edit that we don't have. No socials, and all normal names this time. I was getting kind of used to saying Apicha and Potasa. All right, here we go. The world looked entirely different from the attic window, or so young Rob had come to believe. From here, the little town square where he liked to play would taunt him rather than entice him, the window separating him from his friends. The attic was the place he would be locked whenever he violated one of his father's rules to think on what he had done. Sometimes it had been reasonable, like when he stole sweets from the shop's display without paying, or skipped out on school to swim in the river. Other times it seemed ridiculous, like when the salt shaker slipped from his hand at supper to spill a teaspoon on the table, or he had forgotten to make his bed, or even when he helped a neighbor change a tire which had delayed his sweeping out the shop. Over the past year, Rob's confinements had grown more frequent, the rules more arbitrary, and the lessons more obscure. He looked out into the overcast day, wondering why the bell falling from the door upon his entering was worthy of an afternoon trapped amongst the detritus of his family's memories. The nail had been coming loose for months, and Father refused to do anything about it when I pointed it out. What sense does it make to trap me up here? No answer came to him, and as the rain began tapping against the window, it seemed likely to Rob that one day he'd be locked up here and never let out. There was a flash, followed by a rumble of thunder which shook the building to its foundations. Below, he heard his father grousing and groaning as he dragged a stepladder through the shop on the lowest floor. A prickle of something wormed its way down Rob's spine as he crept back between the old suitcases and long abandoned boxes, opening one full of faded pictures. He flipped through the grainy photos of his mother, his sister, and their grandfather, wondering if his father ever thought of them anymore. There was a crash below, followed by a shout. Rob ran to the window and looked down to see if his father was injured. Instead, he saw the old man stepping away from the door in the rain, his feet carrying him towards the saloon, which was his true home. Rob gripped the windowsill, his forehead sagging against the cool glass. A tinny noise, and then a crack echoed through the attic as the pane cracked and shattered, shards falling away. One little touch was all it had taken. The wind-blown rain struck Rob in the face, sending him away from the sill as he stared at the destruction he had wrought. Visions flashed through his mind of the hours, the days he would spend in the attic for that one, likely with a belting before putting him up here for good measure. That was when a whistle cut through the racket of the storm, the 4 o'clock express having pulled into the station. Rob trembled, looking back at a suitcase his grandfather had used whilst traveling to Europe. Now his grandson seized it and checked the clothes inside to find that there were still 2 pairs of pants and 3 shirts, which the moths hadn't eaten. Rob doffed a hat from one of the photos, then ran to the window, breaking away the last of the glass before clambering out onto the roof. A 3-story drop made his stomach turn, the rain-slicked roof giving him pause as his feet threatened to shoot out from underneath him. Yet he pushed on, clambering to the drain pipe and sliding down to the alley between his father's store and the druggist. Rob hurried to the door, hopping over the fallen stepladder and abandoned bell as he wended his way through the shelves to the till. He opened it up and gave himself $15, the exact sum his grandfather had had when he'd stumbled into town. And then Robert was gone, running through the rain to catch the train. A flash of lightning brought Robert back from that memory of 16 years before. The rain was there, the window pane separating him from freedom, and he was rushing towards some uncertain fate. Back then, it had been the army and a free trip to France, which had been waiting for him at the end of the journey. This time, he was sure the white hat-wearing cultist had something far more ghoulish in mind. Maybe he doesn't know I'm here, Robert thought, peeking into the cab of the truck and looking at the back of the man's head. The man had his eyes on the road, seemingly oblivious to his passenger. Or maybe he's leading me on. Robert slid back to the end of the bed and looked out at the road behind him. It was running by at an alarming rate, far too fast to safely jump out as they drove past a graveyard overgrown with trees. Headstones and mausoleums overlooked the road, sending a thrill of fear through Robert's heart. Yet the truck slowed as the road rose up a gentle incline and turned to the right. Slow enough to jump out? As though in answer to his question, the truck jerked suddenly, Robert losing his footing and barely keeping himself from falling out the back. It sped up afterwards, leaving the graveyard and any chance of easy escape. Robert steadied himself, gritting his teeth as he whispered, "I'll ride to the end, see where this guy has set up shop, and if I can pry loose any information from there." His resolve was tested as the road veered out of town, ranches and wilderness closing in around him, the kind of land where a body might go undiscovered forever, lost and unmourned in a dark hole. The road climbed up a hill, the truck sliding unnervingly back and forth on the damp soil. Robert caught a brief glimpse of a building standing on a hill shielded by trees before the truck turned up the steepest road yet and drove up around the crest of the hill until it parked at last. Only then, with rain ticking on the roof, did Robert poke his head out and see where he had been taken. The asylum, Robert thought, the hairs standing up on his neck as he looked over the red brick and white plastered edifice standing before him. He ducked down when the cab door clattered open, listening through the patter of rain to the grumbling of White Hat. As the man walked across the pavement to the door, Robert looked through the back window and the windshield, watching as the door opened on its own. A nurse in a white smock appeared, looking down at White Hat. "Dr. Lowry, did you have to duck out at such a time?" "Damn it, Christy, you know I had to." Still nothing. I had vital work to do." "Doctor, Felix is dead." "What?" Dr. Lowry gasped. "How?" "He woke from his stupor and found his way to the medicine room." "So you fucked up the dosage, did you?" "No, I gave him exactly the amount listed on—" "Get out of my way," Dr. Lowry snapped, marching into the door past her. "I need a full autopsy and blood—" Christy sighed, grimacing as she followed the doctor inside and closed the door behind her. Robert let out a breath he hadn't noticed inhaling, his hand falling away from his hidden pistol he didn't remember grabbing. He rubbed his chin, sitting back in the truck bed as he looked over the mental hospital. "Well now, Dr. Lowry, what in the world are you doing, dabbling with monsters and mayhem?" As though in answer, thunder rumbled in the distance, the rain coming down harder against the roof. Indeed, it began to drip through the roof, Lowry having fashioned the covering for weather other than driving rain. Robert sighed, looking out the back at the lands around the asylum. He saw a small farm, a poor farm where the unwanted earned their keep, with a bunkhouse to store their living bodies and a little graveyard for once their souls departed from their flesh. And across the road, he saw a hospital and sick house. This place is full of people who wouldn't be missed if they vanished, nor would their deaths raise any suspicion. A perfect place to find sacrifices. Robert frowned, finding something wanting in his conclusion. Now, do I wait here and snoop around this Lowry's office for clues? Or hike out of here and try to meet up with Sarah to see if she has some insights? Neither prospect seemed particularly appetizing, both offering different hazards to his life and limb. Yet as his hair grew wetter, he knew that he couldn't remain where he was still. And so Robert compromised, taking out a knife and waiting for the next flash of lightning. When it came, he counted down to the rumble and shoved the knife into the back window's latch as the thunder rattled the glass. It opened, letting him slip into the cab. The glove compartment gave him nothing unusual to work with, but when he lifted the seat, he found a coin with a pentagram on the back and a book in black leather written in a language he did not understand. Both of these he stashed under his coat before he let himself out the door. After taking one last look at the asylum, feeling a stirring in his gut, he made his escape. Even as he retreated towards the nearest trees, a voice told him that he would return to this place and that his second visit would be far worse than the first.
Again.
It stopped. Yes, Bitzer, it's that Robert. When I was sitting here going 2 + 2, 4, yes, I was like, who is this little kid Rob? Like, what the frick? This poor little kid Rob. And then the last line before the next scene was, Robert, and I was like, wait, the hat, right? No, oh, it's the spider cult.
Mm-hmm.
The only time in history that the Izzy has asked for more spider.
Mm-hmm.
The only time in history.
All right.
Yes, spider cult. Spider cult. Have to go back and watch some of the old ones. Because,
oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's good.
Beauteous.
Last one of the night.
And last tonight,
Ace.
Ace! Confuzzled. Because I can't say it with an M with a straight face. Doc got what I was putting down. Okay, Ace, here we go. As the heat intensified, Chrissy looked around, desperate for a response. She grabbed the shield from me, having no time to politely ask for it. She held it in front of her and stood in the roaring flames. The heat pressed against her, testing her resolve. She opened her mouth and set her words to an ancient and ethereal tune. I stand in your fire. I hear your endless pain. Oh, Mother, protect us now. Chrissy closed her eyes as the shields behind us collapsed. She kicked aside the fallen metal and knelt in front of us, shielding us as best she could. I closed my eyes. The fire surrounded us. Armor smoked and stung the air. The air changed. The flames vanished without warning, and the roar snapped into silence. He heard you, I said, resting my hand onto Chrissy's shoulder. She handed back the shield. As we stood, a cool breeze brought the temperature back to normal. Karen of the Woodlands, boomed Ornath. I saw what you did. You honored my pain. Karen tilted her head slightly as she looked up at the dragon. How do you know my title? Young one, you and your sister were all that Garuth talked about. You knew my father? He never mentioned you. The dragon nodded and relaxed. Because I told him not to. Garuth would hop onto my back, and we would soar over the land, sharing stories about fantastic times. But alas, being banished from your land by the young folk who no longer respect the ancient arts. Orunath patted his great belly. Has its consequences. Tell me, where is Garuth? I would much like to speak with him. Karen sat down the bag of scales and lowered her head. Chrissy turned away, not wanting the dragon to see her tears. I stood still, not saying a word. This was their grief, not my own. The dragon lifted his head and roared. I heard, but I could not believe that Garuth and Sylvia Smith, heroes of their age, had been killed by a lowly thief. Chrissy dried her eyes and turned to face the dragon. They did not die at the hands of the thief, but were given a chance to become combat masters. How do you know this? Asked Oronath. A combat master is forbidden from revealing their true identity. They shed their roles as combat masters. This time, it was Karen who spoke. To spend one last night with us before moving on from this world. Karen and Chrissy both touched the pendants they wore. The dragon leaned down to see. O golden scythe, that is rare. You speak the truth. It is a shame that so many a hero have left this world. Ornath returned to scratching his enormous stomach. You may keep the scales. You have earned them. Please return again. I value your company as I did that of your parents. Oh, great Ornath, may I approach? The dragon inclined its head, and Chrissy walked forward. May I heal? Chrissy gestured towards one of the exposed areas where a scale had been plucked. The dragon nodded. Chrissy took a round container from her bag and unscrewed the lid. The white cream glistened as she spread it over the area on the dragon. The dragon's skin hardened as they watched, and a new scale grew. Ornath tapped the newly grown scale with his claw. Your mother's salve. It must be fresh to heal that quickly. You are indeed a rose knight. Karen has honored my pain. You have healed it. Perhaps there is hope left in this world. He opened his mouth wide and yawned with the sound of a great war horn. He then rested his head onto the pile of scales like it was his personal pillow and began to snore. I picked up the bag of scales and handed them to Karen. It's time to go. Chrissy put away her mother's salve and joined us. The trek down the mountain greeted us with fresher air, allowing us to breathe easier. Karen and Chrissy walked quietly. I could have asked plenty of questions, but I let them have their time. After an hour of walking, I saw a rather old-looking tree. I don't know what it was about the tree, but I threw my axe and it sank cleanly into the trunk. I stared at my hand, expecting to see the axe fly back. I chuckled when it did not. I guess that only happens in video games. Chrissy retrieved the axe and handed it to me. Nice throw. What are video games? I laughed. That's a tough one, I thought for a minute. There is a lot I would have to explain, but let me see if I can make this simple. Imagine drawing a picture on a piece of paper. Chrissy nodded. Now, draw the same picture on another piece of paper, but change the picture slightly. Chrissy nodded again. Now, repeat that on more pieces and then flip through them quickly. What you see looks like the picture is moving. Chrissy shook her head. It still looks like a tree to me. I see what you're saying, chimed in Karen. If you draw a picture of a tree, and in each picture you change the position of each branch, it will look like the branches are moving. What do they do with that? That's right. With hundreds of pictures all being flipped very quickly, they can make it seem like anything is moving. Karen tapped her chin. How do they make so many pictures flip so quickly? Colored lights, I replied. They use machines to shine colored lights onto a flat surface. We call that a video. Karen's face lit into a smile. It sounds like you could do almost anything with this video. So what is a video game? A video game is where you press buttons with your fingers and change what is happening in the video. For example, in the video, there is a person who is holding an axe. I press a button and the person throws the axe. Make sense? Karen nodded, but Chrissy shook her head. I'm going to just stay with the tree and pick apples. I think I get what you are saying. In this video game, your person throws an axe and then it just appears in your hand, like magic. I nod. Wow, I thought your world didn't have magic. All the pictures in the video games are drawn by an artist, so they aren't real. The person isn't real, the axe isn't real, and the magic is not real. It would be nice if it were. I wasn't watching where I was walking and about ran into a low-hanging branch when Chrissy suddenly pushed it away. She began to giggle. I see the trees. You don't. Open your eyes, Ace. I pulled my axe from its sheath and prepared to chop off the offending end of the branch, but I was not quick enough. Chrissy saw the axe, yelped, and released the branch. It hit me on the side of the face, leaving a nice cut on my cheek. I recovered and completed my task of chopping the branch. Chrissy examined the wound and was about to get her healing salve when Karen blurted out, "Leave it! That's a great claw wound from your fight with the dragon." We all burst out laughing. For the rest of the trek back to the village, we had time to get our story straight about the cut. We smelled the bison stew before entering the shop. The shop was empty, and Mavlos was snoring in a chair behind the counter. Karen raised the bag of scales over the counter and was about to slam it down when Mavlos growled, "Not today, Karen. I've broken too many chairs to let myself be scared by you again." Karen slammed the bag down anyway. "Got the scales." Mavlos opened the bag and examined one. "Impressive. What do you want to do with them?" Karen took out a scale and held it over her shoulder. "I was thinking you could make us some scale coverings for our armor, something we could attach and detach as needed." "Clever." Mavlos reached over to Karen's shoulder and pushed the fabric aside, exposing a small mithril ring. "Your father planned ahead for an idea like that. There are connecting rings all over your armor." Mavlos turned to me. "How did that armor hold up?" "Quite well," I said back. I turned and Mavlos saw the cut on my cheek. "What happened there? Did the dragon catch you off guard?" I nodded. "You should have seen it before the healing salve." Karen and Chrissy both held their composures. "Be glad he didn't take off your head. What did it take to finally bring down that beast?" "A tree branch." Karen and Chrissy burst into laughter and ran to the back of the shop. Mavlos shot me a puzzled look and I just shrugged. "It's a long story. I'll tell you sometime." "You better. Must have been a mighty tree branch to take down a dragon." Laughter continued to come from the back room, interrupted only by Karen yelling, "What about that cow, Mavlos? Have you gotten Chrissy a cow yet?" "Enough with the cow!" Mavlos stood and slammed his fist onto the counter so hard that it split down the middle. "Our bison are good enough." Mavlos continued without taking a breath. "I'm not going to let some scrawny, little, no good." Mavlos stopped. His face turned red. He tried to grab the edge of the split counter but fell backwards, smashing his chair before his body crashed to the floor with a sickening thud. All laughter ended. Karen and Chrissy both rushed to his side. "What happened?" Chrissy cried. "Karen, go fetch Belle from the temple. Hurry!" Dun, dun, dun.
Ace.
We got all the cliffhangers. Yes, out of story error.
You know what it
Sadly.
finally reminds me of? Like I kind of got it the very first story that Ace graced us with. I don't know how many people watched cartoons extensively in the late 80s, early 90s. Maybe mid 80s. Captain Nintendo.
Oh my god, I feel very old.
The character of Ace has come from our world and is in this fantasy world and kind of also is very lit RPG without the RPG stats in the story. I'm
I feel very old.
Patrick? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to effing know where that came from and why it came out of your fingers on the screen.
Oh
I
my
don't.
God,
Nope.
is nothing
I don't even want to theorize.
he
That is now forevermore
with
anyway.
flirty girls. I know what flirty girls. He's playing with Knight and probably Aspen Winters and all the other ones.
Oh, I thought he was reacting to our chat. No, he's bragging. Okay.
Bragging.
Fuck you, bro. Fuck you, bro. I miss those ladies
hear
so freaking much.
Can they hear us?
Can they
I
hear
guarantee
us?
you, because they're sitting right there. If he's sitting there with his phone on, they can hear us.
But that doesn't mean that he's not got his earbud in or something.
Oh no, they're probably in the lobby. They send their love.
Hi.
I really need to read this. I have so many books I need to read. Okay, I'm taking a break from writing. I need to catch up on my reading.
Well, that's the whole thing. I need to finish what I've got, so I'll have something for Indie in August. But at this particular point, I really do need to actually, free the mind and do some reading or some actual, like, outside of writing creativity. I don't know exactly what that is.
I feel that. I do.
But currently, I am just happy because the snow is finally melted here in West Tennessee. And you know what that means? The children go to school on Monday.
Patrick, this is our knight's first book in which series? Steel Archangels. Biker romance. Look, okay, I have several types. We'll just go. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any Aspen Winters or some of the other people, but like, I gotta say, the three of us up here and Patrick were all at Green Bay together, and for the three of us, it was a new experience, right? And Patrick has done events before, Trisha has done events before, all local and whatnot. And although even when I do finally get one of my things published, and I've told these guys all before, swag. Oh fuck! The only way that I'm going to have swag for my books is if you all come up with it and you're like, okay, Izzy, we're printing out 50 bookmarks that look like this, 50 bookmarks that look like this. We're going to buy you these stickers and this, that, and the other. And I'll be like, okay, what's the price tag? Okay, swipe. Like, don't make me come up with this shit. This is why I have all of you people. So if I can tell any of you who have not published yet, as I have not, as Cash has not, the idea of going and being a signing author at one of these events and meeting people in person that you only knew online before, or meeting brand new people who love your book, and you get to go to the balls, or you do this or you do that, and you feel like you have a lifetime friend out of these people, right? Like, I know when Julie and I go to Sinful Signings, if any of these people that we saw at Packing the Readers are there, it's going to be squeals and giggles because we get to see them again.
Over, it's going to be a thing.
It's going to be a total thing, right? And then we even met an author there who actually lives near Kesh and I, and she's going all the way all over the place to all these different things. So I'm sure she will be at Indie in August. So we'll get to see her again and her PA, you know, and it's this whole other world. I remember cheerleaders in school. They were talking about when they would go to these events and they'd get to see their friends from other squads, you know, and you all have this one thing in common and you get to talk about all this stuff. We do it every single week here on the show. We get to hear your stories and we get to give advice in the Discord and everything else. But it's like a book convention is literally just a full-on celebration of all of that on a grander scale. And I'd never gone to a book convention as even somebody who went, ooh, I get to see all my favorite authors. And God, the back end for the authors and the PAs and all that, it's fuck, I miss it. I kind of wish that was my life right now, going all around the country talking about hawking books and meeting people and hanging out with people that get me and understand me because I'm a fucking author.
You did do an amazing job as my PA, and as we put it, it wasn't Izzy was my PA. Izzy was my handler. If you wanted to get close to the Julie, you had to go through Izzy and Cash, and occasionally Patrick, who happened to be across the way from me. And it's like, oh, you need Julie? Give her 5 minutes. She's outside smoking a cigarette, and you don't want to interrupt that.
Yeah.
And then I come in going, hey,
and yes, absolutely, Trisha.
Oh, for sure, Trisha.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. And here's a nice little fun fact. I have family of family in Kansas City.
Yeah.
So just saying, we get our asses there and you do it again and, you know, etc. because it's not a far drive for you. I can make it happen on my end.
I mean,
and I know that my sister's mother and
I think Kansas City for me is only 4.5, 5 hours. So it's really not that bad of a drive for me.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is by the time I had found
not
out
even
about
that bad.
Kansas City,
And
I couldn't budget time.
mm-hmm. And that's the big thing, right? Is the budgeting the time, taking time off. Literally, my work has okay, this is the time off. This is when the leadership team of my department is unavailable. The fact that I was able to put in March book convention in Virginia, and then in August book convention in Indy, right? The fact that my team at work knows I'm in the book world. It's just this is all a dream come true. You all are making this shit a reality, and I'm gonna stop now before I start crying.
Okay, but you know that is one of the things that I can't wait to do. I've had several people reach out to me and be like, "Hey, I'm going to this one. I can probably get you in," and I'd be like, "That's great. Can we try to book it for next year?" Because right now, I have a little one. Everybody knows I have a gremlin, and my gremlin, being special needs, I can't do much unless I have a secondary person to take care of the gremlin. Well, in the process, the person who takes care of the gremlin when mommy's not around has only 2 weeks of vacation time. So with his doctor's appointments and everything else that has come up, I'm lucky I got both Sinful and Indy. And for Indy, I only needed a day. He had to take off that Friday because Indy's only 4.5 hours from me. So, like, I'm driving up, and like as soon as little man gets on the bus, I'm driving up, and that way he doesn't see me leave. He comes home, mommy's just not here. It's fine. And we're good. Flirty is open for 2027. Hey, somebody send me the link. But we'll start booking out for next year. But that's the whole thing. If I don't book them out for next year, I don't have the ability of putting it on a calendar. I don't have the ability to saying, hey, Izzy, or hey, Kesh, or even Patrick, hey, I'm going to be here at this time. This is what we need. But I would love to. I would love to do more events. I would love to have somebody else here that can take care of the gremlin so I could go do more events. But being on the time crunch that I'm on,
and
it's not that I don't want to.
right. And shit, once I do get, published and whatnot, and I'm able to do things, I do have more time, right? And I do get 3 weeks a year. And, after I get some surgeries handled that will take all of that up, well, then yeah, I can go. And worst case scenario, I go as Hold My Pen Promptcast, which means I can take, additional people's books and whatnot, because we're basically marketing, right? We're marketing for this whole thing, and it can take some other people. Because I think, if I remember correctly, Patrick had it was talking about Sinful, where you can't have any other author's books at your table out to be actually. But if any of us were to go as Hold My Pen Promptcast, fudgeroonie those rules, because they've got regular vendors there, not just authors. So I promise you, if you can get a story finished, get it edited, for the most part, listen to your editor, especially if you trust them. I know a few. You can trust them. They just want to make your story the best version of itself.
I'm not only open, I can spot a plot hole a mile a frickin' way, but I'm reasonably priced. And if you happen to mention that you heard it on the Hold My Pen podcast, I'll give you a discount. Look, guys, I need work. I can't work outside my house. This is my job.
Yes, this is the job.
I should be getting my tax return soon, and I have an entire book that's just kind of waiting for that. And I am started editing it.
But
like my edit.
But do it.
So.
Do get the people who can help you with swag if you're not good at it, like this stray cat. And make time to do it. We're passionate about this and everything else. A bunch of you newer people who have only joined us in the last 6 months, I went to my grandmother's funeral October of 24. It was my last living grandparent, and I ran into my aunt from my other side of the family. They were all close. And she pulled me aside. And she goes, "What are you doing these days?" And I told her about my job at the credit union. And she goes, "Really? That's amazing." I said, "And I'm also a co-host on a podcast, a writing podcast, and I'm writing some novels." The look on her face, her whole face lit up and was so excited. And she goes, "You've wanted to be an author since you were a little girl. I am so proud of you that you are following your dream." And in that moment, that was literally the first time that an adult from my childhood said that they were proud of me for following my dream.
We're proud of you every damn day, babe.
A dream that I had forgotten. A dream that I had forgotten was actually my dream. So
we just signed up.
Make this dream a reality, y'all.
We just signed up for Flirty in Kansas.
You just signed up as an author.
Said we a package deal. We signed up.
No, I get that, but it's you as Julie, me as the PA, and we'll figure out a way to do Cash as our stylist. This is we will figure that out. But
as long as it
it's
doesn't
you.
or conflict with concert season, because God knows that if there's a good concert, we can't even blame Kesh at this point. It's just like, hey, grab me a t-shirt. By the way, I would like to have a
Right?
small moment of silence. The lead singer of Three Doors Down died today, losing his battle with kidney cancer at the age of 47. And that man they didn't think was going to live past 25. So, as one of my favorite bands, them and Nickelback got me through my freaking high school years. So, small moment of silence. All right, we're good to go. I was going to do that at the beginning of the show.
Okay. Oh,
But anywho,
So
we're going to
the gremlin said no.
jobs. We're just,
can't we just go as Hold My Pen Promptcast and all of us get in as the show?
well, no, because it's
Depends.
literally you plus one visitor, and until they actually send me stuff back on it of whether we got picked or not, and then I have to explain whether I have two PAs or I have one PA or what's going on there. Or yeah, we could do the Hold My Pen Promptcast along with me, and then we can get everybody in.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Because that makes the most sense, is just trying to go in as a podcast, like, and get. And I know there's details.
Yeah, and it is kind of the thing. There's the list of vendors or influencers or whatever is like for Sinful, for example, is only like this big, 5 or 6 names, right? And it's the authors that is a big long list of names. So I guess we'll just have to see how far and wide this core group of ours can push us and our name and sharing it out and telling their friends and family and strangers on the street about it, and see how big we can get to the point where having Hold My Pen Promptcast as a vendor on their event is a draw. Okay, yes, and Bitzer is correct. We got a prompt to roll. I'm ready when you are.
85.
I get to post it in the side chat this time because Sticks went to bed.
Sticks was very tired.
That's fine. I don't give a shit. He missed out. A character is asked to help with something simple and realizes it carries unexpected emotional weight.
Oh shit. Okay. I'm loving it. Okay, 38.
Starting first line, 38. Oof. The city gates swung open without a sound. Oh God, your guys' heads turned the exact same way at the exact same time. I'm tripping the fuck out. The city gates swung open without a sound.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay, 48.
No, am I the only one who saw that? Their heads turned exactly the same angle at the exact same time. I'm not seeing things. I'm watching this on the replay. Jesus Christ.
We're going to be a meme later.
48? Said 48?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Dialogue. It's strange what people choose to keep. All right, number 1, concept. A character is asked to help with something simple and realizes it carries unexpected emotional weight. Starting first line, the city gates swung open without a sound. Number 3, dialogue. It's strange what people choose to keep.
All right, polls up.
Oh,
Okay, good. Luna saw it too.
2 and 3 are 2 and 3 are hard choice. Ooh, I can use both, and for different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and don't forget, Luna's in there. Luna's reminding us the challenge: show, don't tell. Watch your word commodity, right? Words have value, and you're only allowed 2,500. And in addition, don't forget that the starting first line and the dialogue do not have to be word for word. Embellish to your heart's content. It's just your diving board getting you into the pool.
If anything, as long as it's the spirit of the prompt, go for it. It doesn't
Bingo.
have to be the exact word.
Bingo.
Be alluded to. God knows how many times I've done that.
I'm still proud of the bridge with the clock tower and devoid of people. I took one starting first line and turned it into 5 fucking sentences.
You did? All right, guys, we got.
I mean, yeah, you guys aren't wrong. All of these could very, very much go together. I mean, it's not that I'm proud. I'm just a wordy bitch. Hey, I remember to vote.
Exactly. Better, like, remember to vote. Your story depends on it.
Yep.
Patrick, did you vote? I really wish there was a way we could see who voted and who didn't. That way we could be like, hey, Patrick, you can't say anything if you don't vote. Does it have
because you're a control freak.
Well,
No. Absolutely. If the dialogue is because on top of that, if you think about it too, let's say you're writing a first person. Dialogue doesn't necessarily have to be one of the characters actually speaking. It could be your first person narrative, thinking, talking, telling the story, and starting it out with "It's strange what people choose to keep." And again, same thing with the start line, right? That's yeah, you could use it as a start line, but the number of times that's where I started my writing session, and then suddenly I had a light bulb moment, and I had to go and write something ahead of that. You know, these are your. Oh God, when Luna says, "I've got plans," all in caps.
And then a mwahaha. Let's not forget the mwahaha. Oh Lord. Okay.
Oh, I know. Someone chickened out of watching. Yeah. Uh-huh. We got a live one. Yeah, no kidding. We got a live one. I would love to say more, but I can't. I'm technically sworn to secrecy. Yes, and you are allowed to use the other prompts if you want to.
Yes.
Literally at this point, the only reason we have the vote thing is so that we have an official prompt. But at the same time, like, y'all do what the hell you want to. Yes, there's an official prompt, and this is your participation of the actual live show portion. Like we want everybody to feel involved. My interaction style is get things going, and biggest part of that is that I like to have emotional buy-in. I like to have buy-in from everybody around me, and I like everyone to do their part, which means fucking vote for the prompt and then try to write this week and submit it. This is your cost for hanging out, is giving us something to read to you. Yes, those are your participation trophies. You have to participate, you have to vote, and then you have to submit, and then us reading it out is your trophy. All right, so it's dialogue. It's strange what people choose to keep. Use that how you will. Also, I am very sorry about this week. I know last week when we finished up in the Discord due to technical difficulties, I said that we were going to have some awards that you guys were going to vote on. We're going to use Google Forms in order to collect data, and so that way we can have some January trophies, actual awards, bragging rights for all you folks. I had a hell of a week. So that's not quite done yet. And I'd like to sit down with the rest of the team and kind of go, okay, here's my ideas. What's your thoughts? Who goes on this? And there we go. So that's all I've got. I should be able to have the graphic up next week. My apologies. And for those who are not aware, Julie, where did our February graphic come from?
Documancer. Documancer took what I had found over on another site, and they did their own rendition of it, so it will be up in the center for the love awards.
And if you got last week's newsletter, you should see it flat right there above the prompt, or right with the prompts. So yes, very much so. We're a family, guys. And when we vehemently encourage you to do the damn thing, because we care.
I don't bully.
Now, some people around here might Some people around here might say that they were bullied, but I can it be bullying when it's done out of care and encouragement, and write your damn stories because you guys are good at it. I really don't think that's bullying.
I think it's bullying. I think that is aggressive encouragement, but it's not bullying.
Yeah. Yes, tough love. Absolutely.
All right, but either which way,
so that everyone can suffer. On top of that, one additional thing I wanted to say, like what Bitzer was saying, because how many times have we gotten right up to the end and found out that the author never finished the series?
Right.
Aggressive love and pushing to get the damn thing done so that the world can have a complete series.
Especially
all right.
Since I have
yes,
somebody...
we're out. Ads are coming.
Yeah. Okay. Either which way, ads coming in 10 seconds. Don't add, don't subtract. See you back here tomorrow. Bye. I got it through.
The sky's lines blowing takes me back in time. To laughter and long nights we left it